Greetings Commander, since Corsair-release is delayed, decided to share a few more tests based on my previous vid, hit capacity, and check few more combat builds. But first would like to start from masslock factor, the value which slow down your ship to supercruise if more massive ship is near. Corsair masslock factor is 8. Have no clue if it's intended or error, but courier masslock factor is 7. Basically any Cobra can masslock the Corsair. If you have seen previous vid with combat tests with plasmas, you might noticed how hot the ship was. So let's compare on the stock configs how fast it reaches 100% temperature in Silent Run comparing to old and new ships. These are quite raw tests, but if I remember correctly, Dropship had one of the best hit capacity during all times, and Type 9 not that great, but seems Corsair overcame the old Type 9. Now let's compare to current combat meta. You may find such values not that relevant, like 10-15 seconds, but during the actual fight with constant boosting, shooting and banking, it will matter. Keeping in mind current findings, I assume to try few builds with armored power plant instead of overcharged, and check its temperature during the fight. Starting from pacifiers, multi-cannons and 1 cascade rail, 2.1k shields, double 6A banks and 3.7k hull. Second one is modified Guardian Plasma Chargers with multi-cannons. The build depends on produced heat and deploying heat sinks to transfer energy into weapon capacitor, but it has only 1k shields. The last one, thermal conduit beams, multi-cannons and cascade rail. Same like with Guardian, hit sinks dependency, but decent damage if you are above 160% of hit level. Overall, I can't say it's a bad feature. For a close combat fight it should be easier to trigger Thermal Conduit Experimental, which increases your plasma damage based on hit level, and at the same time it would make full rail builds depending on the hit sinks, with less strong shields, which would be quite fair. But shame that seems it won't be that easy to charge FSD during full scope. Hope it was helpful. See you in the Void, Commander.